Good morning, everybody. I notice if I keep my hand like this, I'm going to have to start investing in manicures, but I'm too cheap to do that, so I think I'll just move my hand. Business owners and CEOs in particular don't spend time talking to their customers other than when they're trying to sell them something or resolve a problem. When you go meet with your customers proactively, not to sell them anything and not to address a problem, there are a few things that can happen, and all of them are very, very good. Number one, that customer could launch into a big list of complaints that they have. Why is that good? Because if the customer doesn't talk to you about the complaints, you can't fix them. And you don't want customers walking around unhappy. If that sounds obvious, go talk to your customers. The next thing that can happen when you go talk to your customers is you can find out what's going on in their business from their perspective. And that sounds basic as well, but how often do you get the market perspective directly from the market? The next thing that can happen is they can start talking about what we call their elevator rant. In other words, what are the challenges they're facing that they're really concentrating on and maybe bitching and moaning about on the elevator when you're not around and no one else is around? How often do you have a conversation like that with your customers? You want them to start talking about the world from their perspective, their challenges, so you can ultimately connect it with the product or service you sell, or maybe you can find another way to help them by connecting them with a new resource. The next thing that can happen, and perhaps this is the best case scenario, is that your customer might start talking about a need that directly relates to something you do. In fact, in many of the customer interviews I do for my clients, interviewing their customers, business opportunities tend to come from those meetings because the customer is reminded about something they've been focused on and forgotten that relates to a need that you can serve. For example, even though you do HR outsourcing, I didn't know that you also do recruiting. And then the very last thing that I can think of that would happen, again, that's all good when you talk to your customers, is you might end up with a testimonial. If it seems like they're pleased with the products or services that you are providing to them, you might say, I was thinking as you were talking, this is such a great story about your business and, some role that we have played in helping you grow or succeed. Do you think we could come back to you with sort of a draft of a case study or testimonial? Would you be willing to take a look at that and perhaps let us display it on the website? So those are the great things that can happen when you go talk to your customers when you're not trying to sell them something or solve a problem. That's all for now. I'll keep you posted.